When I was in school, I had a very influential drama teacher who said, you have to be constantly looking for opportunities, and if at the end of the day you've looked everywhere and that opportunity isn't there, then you need to make it.
As a kid, I used to play pretend all the time, which I guess is the earlier form of acting, but I didn't ever do any acting until high school, and that's when some friends bugged me and were like, hey, you should come do this show, and that's where I got introduced to cabaret. So after that, I was hooked. Eventually I did find out about community theater groups that did it, and just did a few shows and fell in with some people.
I started off the Quill with 3 other like-minded theater people, and we started it because we wanted to do a new kind of theater.
We had met and discussed the idea of starting a troupe and what we kind of wanted it to be about and what we wanted to do, and then it kind of sat and marinated in everybody's minds for a while.
We all actually got together at a hotel one night and stayed up all night and just started writing. I had tried 2 other times to form a theater troupe before this, and the reason why they failed was because we didn't have the right people with the right skills, and most importantly, the right investment in the organization. Once you have that, the rest is details.
We all kind of pulled on whatever resources we had and begged, borrowed, to get it going.
There are as many different ways to do theater as there are people who do theater. We believe in pulling from as many communities and as many perspectives as possible. We very much wanted to create an experience for our performers where they felt they had as much of an investment into the production design as the performance. 2 people look at the same thing and they see 2 similar but very different things. It's part of the great thing about art. So it only made sense to us that the performers have the same experience, and that the best way to communicate the meaning of the show is to take those different experiences and find a way to weave them all together in one cohesive story.
You know, there are days where I'm so frustrated, I'm like, why am I doing this? But it always pays off in the end. Space has been an issue because having a home base to actually work from has been extremely difficult. Also just kind of like the boring paperwork side, the unsexy part of acting, if you will. It's not fun, so it just sucks the energy out of you to do it, but it needs to be done.
And as opposed to posting auditions that say, we need actors to be in this show, we said we want actors, we want dancers, we want musicians, we want anyone who has a talent. We want to take the best of you and put it out there for everyone to see, to tell this story. So much of theater, of art, is personal expression, comes from who you are, that to just bring people through like cattle, look at a headshot, hear them say a monologue and have them move on, doesn't do the performers justice, because they're busy showing you what they think you want to see, not the best of who they are.
Well, we're trying to establish our cycle. We want to do seasons of shows with a certain theme together. We'd like to introduce more original work. It's unlike any other kind of theater I've ever had to do. It's so outside my comfort zone. We try to get everybody outside their comfort zone. If they're more into movement, we try to get them more into acting. If they're more into acting, we try to get them into the movement side. I hear a lot of people talk about ensemble work as kind of like a negative thing, but we see that as kind of the best. And so we really want to get to a point where we're a troupe and not just a company that puts on shows.
For me, it's all about the art. But so far, our first production was successful. It's that moment at the end of the last show, getting an opportunity to look back and not look at just the things that I accomplished, but the things we accomplished together. The moment when we realized that the idea works.
One thing we've talked about is starting to do not just shows, but to do workshops, doing little improv bits. We just want to work with people who are talented and reasonable and intelligent and keep making art.
If we as a troupe continue to invest ourselves into our art the way we are, I can only imagine the audience will invest as much in us. Stick to the art and the art will carry you through.